Hey, we're back on the lawn again today. This is the end of the week and I have not yet mowed the grass for the week. So far, I've only been mowing one time a week, but that's getting ready to increase to 2 times. We've had a really slow start here in the southeast where I'm at this year due to low temperatures. Just last night it was 42, the night before it got down to 40, and those are not conducive to good warm season turf grass growing. But I came today to do what a lot of people have to do since common Bermuda is a problem in Zoysia grass. So we're going to discuss what we're going to do here with the common Bermuda removal, what other weeds that our herbicide tank mix will treat and take care of. This is slightly different than last year's episode where we took care of the common Bermudagrass. The herbicides will be the same, the adjuvant will be different, and hopefully I can get you a little bit more information this time. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so you can stay up to date on all of my new video releases. Let's go take a walk around the yard and I'll show you what Bermudagrass looks like. The Zoysia grass is still struggling to fully green up. We have really nice green up in the yard. Don't look at the ditch bank because they just put county water in and dug that up. Now I do have a major shade problem here. I'm always going to have shade, but I believe I can get this lawn back into its former glory. We also have some turfgrass insect disease or fungal damage. I believe it's probably going to be insects. I have not done a diagnosis on this yet, but look, even here you can see Bermuda grass. So you can see, I didn't show you all the spots, but there is Bermuda all over this lawn. Hang around, we're going to talk about what we're going to use to address it, what herbicides to use, how to apply it, how to prep your sprayer, because this is a foliar application that we need to make. Here we have fluazafop, 24.5% fluazafop in the form of Fusillade II. I think it's a Syngenta. It is a Syngenta product. This alone cannot be used on Zoysia grass. It has to be mixed with our other herbicide. Those two mixed together have a safening effect on the Zoysia. There is a chance you could see some bronzing or yellowing of the grass if you over apply it, even if you apply it at the rate I tell you. Different cultivars have different tolerances. Now what fluazafop controls is Bermudagrass, crabgrass, foxtail, sandbur, goosegrass, Johnson grass, I think barnyard grass. I think I got them all. This is going to have really good control on those, but you don't use this by itself. Now this product here is going to go out at 0.12 of an ounce per 1,000 square feet. That's 0.12 fluid ounces right here for every 1,000 square feet, and that's going to be per gallon of carrier. That's also 5.2 ounces to the acre rate. Kind of expensive, but if you have Zoysia grass, you'll probably have some form of common Bermuda popping up. Let's take a look at the Triclopyr and talk about what that controls. Triclopyr, formerly known as Turflawn ester, right? 61.6% Triclopyr. Triclopyr is going to be your tank mix partner with the Fusillade. And let me say that Fusillade has another formulation that is similar, but it is not as strong with the active ingredient. It's called Ornamec over the top. It's still going to be fluazafop. And if that's what you buy, contact me and I'll give you the rates for that. This Triclopyr right here is it's more active on broadleaf type weeds, but it is a key component to this tank mix. Now you're looking at medic, thistle, clover, dandelion, lamb's quarters, dog fennel, oxalis, your wild carrots, lettuce, wild violet, poison ivy, poison oak, poison sumac. But it is also a Bermuda suppressor. So this, in combination with the Fusillade, is where your strength comes. They have to work together. But these two alone don't do the job fully. You need an adjuvant in your tank. That's a tank mix partner that is going to help this stuff get into the plant, break into that leaf tissue, get into the plant, so it will do its magic from there. And that adjuvant is called MSO, Methylated Seed Oil. Methylated seed oil is the adjuvant that we're going to use at a half of a fluid ounce per gallon. We're going to mix all these together. We're going to fill our tank up. So if we're doing 8,000 square feet, we're going to put 8 gallons in the push sprayer, or if you have a 4-gallon backpack, or whatever you have. Carrier in first. We're going to mix our Fusillade, mix it in. Then we're going to go with our Triclopyr, mix it in. Then we're going to go with our MSO and mix it in. Trying to keep the tank agitated. I don't think any of this will separate. What makes this combination an effective combination is the fact that you have a group 1 herbicide and a group 4 herbicide. 2 different modes of action on the same weed. And when you have 2 different modes of action, much like fungicides, you're going to see better efficacy overall. Now, reading the labels on these, talking about PPE, typical pants, sleeves, shoes and socks, gloves. This one here, if you are mixing it, it says to wear a respirator and a chemical apron. Please follow the label because it's the law. Triclopyr will kill trees. Don't apply it around trees, especially under the drip line of the tree or any exposed roots. So, keeping that in mind, we're going to mix this up. We're going to go apply it. We're going to leave it on the lawn for a day at least before we even touch the lawn. We're not planning on touching the lawn anyway. So, as long as it dries, it should be fine, but you don't want to mow at least 24 hours before or 24 hours after you've applied these products. That way you give the plant plenty of time to get that herbicide in it and become effective. With the active ingredient of fluazafop, if you are running into crabgrass issues, this is the only product you need to apply because it is active on crabgrass. If you're using Drive Accelerate, save your money and don't apply both at the same time. The fluazafop, which is going down every 28 to 30 days, say once a month to be safe, is gonna control your crabgrass problem. Now this is a Zoysia grass combination. Do not apply it to any Bermudagrass that is desirable. Alright, well, I am trying out a new sprayer this year for more delicate applications like herbicides and PGRs, things of that nature. And that is the 24 volt rechargeable wide mouth Chapin sprayer. I put a T-Jet nozzle on it. It's the red T-Jet, just the wide fan tip. And before you can do any spraying, you need to know how to calibrate the sprayer. So there are a few things you're going to need to do this. You're going to need some water in your tank, a charged battery on your sprayer. You're going to need a measuring device and something with a stopwatch. What we're going to do is we're going to take the sprayer, stick it into our measuring device, and we're going to spray out either a 1/4 of a gallon or a 1/2 gallon, and then multiply it to make it a minute's worth of volume. And that way we know how long it takes to get 1 gallon sprayed out of the tip with your sprayer, because everyone will be different. Different tips will be different. Different sprayers will be different because they have pumps that pump out at different gallons per minute. So if you're doing a quarter of a gallon, you would multiply that by 4 to get the gallon rate, or half gallon by 2. So let's get started. Just under 30 seconds for a quarter of a gallon. So that's a 2-minute per gallon pump. So that means for every 1,000 square feet that you are applying to, it should take you 2 minutes to walk that. Now the next best thing you can do is put some more water in your tank, put it on your back, mark out 1,000 square feet, and walk it at a pace. Keep practicing a pace to where you will spray 1 gallon per 1,000 square feet. That is the pace that you will need to walk every time you use that sprayer and that spray tip. We're getting ready to mix it up and put it out. All right, just got done a few minutes ago, hot and sweaty in my PPE, so I had to put something dry on. You can see the Zoysia lawn back here behind me. I did end up using some blue marking dye because with the sprayer, when I walked it off, it was such a slow pace that my normal pace was putting out half the amount. So what I did was I went over my areas twice, and I did different directions to help get better coverage, and that just seemed to work better for me. So I ended up getting the same amount of product out over the same amount of square footage as if I were walking slower. Now I wrote this down because I wanted to make sure you had the application rates for what we put out, and I think I forgot to include the Triclopyr terphenyl ester rate earlier. So if you're going with Fusillade II, that's at 5.2 ounces per acre, or 0.12 fluid ounces per 1,000 square feet. Now if you use Ornamec instead of Fusillade, same active ingredient, different percentages of that active ingredient in those products. Ornamec goes out at 18.9 ounces per acre, or 0.44 ounces per 1,000 square feet. Now you would tank mix that with the terphenyl ester or Triclopyr, whichever your bottle is labeled. All the new ones now are labeled Triclopyr. That goes out at 28.6 ounces per acre, or 0.66 ounces per 1,000 square feet. And we're going to tank mix both of those with a methylated seed oil at roughly a ½ an ounce per gallon of carrier. So normally 1 gallon of carrier covers 1,000 square feet, so that's how we did it. And then I added a couple ounces of blue marking dye so that I could really see with that new sprayer where it was going and exactly where my lines were. You know, when you're spraying clear or slightly milky looking fluid on your lawn, sometimes you have a hard time seeing that in certain light conditions. So I put the blue in there and I could see it very clearly. The sprayer was absolutely wonderful to use. It has some very nice features. I'm sitting here looking at it. It has a super wide mouth on it to make adding your product very easy. It has a 3-stage filter system. It has the strainer on top. It also has a filter inside the tank, and it has a filter in the wand next to the shutoff valve. That catches anything that goes through so that your spray wand does not get clogged. You know, padded straps. It's got the waist buckle to take the weight off of your shoulders here and put them on your hips. Man, it was just so smooth to operate. 24 volts. I think the pressures on it, 40 or 45 pound maximum pressure. I mean, it was just so smooth. Any of the T-jet tips were, they do fit in it nicely. And I will be using this quite a bit this year. If you are looking for the Bermuda products to get rid of the Bermuda out of your Zoysia, the adjuvant, the sprayer, I'll link those in the description below. If you're interested, click on it, take a look at it, no big deal. But the whole point of the video is to make sure you understand how to use the herbicides, and it's pretty simple to do. Just make sure you wear your PPE. I know it can be cumbersome, but you know, some things we just have to do. Well, I appreciate you tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and I'll catch you next time.